What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tammy, and we have questions that need answers. And I have someone right here who needs no introduction.
Hey, Tammy, I hear you got questions for me. Come on, I'm ready. Let's go.
Welcome to Insights with PT. Going back to the peer pressure, within malls, the truth is, I feel young adults like me are being judged by our looks, sometimes how we dress because of our culture, like we talked about. I see my Christian friends dress a certain way at school, and when we dress that way, our parents feel we shouldn't as a Christian. Sometimes it starts to begin an argument at home. So how do we balance this out,
It's gonna be difficult because every home, every parent has what they believe in. Do you understand? And we are more conservative than each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? The things that I see that it's not going to be an issue for me might be an issue for somebody else because they are more conservative than me. There was a time I went to a church in London, and I think I was the one that preached at that church. And after the services, each of the services, I sat by the door and I was watching everybody that came to that church. 80% of people that came to that church on Sunday, they wore jeans. 80% of them wore jeans.
Really?
So I said to myself, why are people shouting about jeans? Now, came back to America, and on a Sunday, we were about to leave home. And I had my wife arguing, with the boys. And I said, what's the problem? She said they want to wear jeans to church. I said, oh my goodness. Now, I was just coming from London, and I said, leave them. I said, the fact that they are even going to church is good enough.
Yeah.
The issue about jeans or no jeans, I said, it doesn't matter. I said, let them come in whatever they want to come in, And that was the beginning of us as a church starting the July dress down month. The casual month. Do you understand? And I would say, hey, come on, you just dress the way you want to dress. Because I've been to many other churches, and if they told you that that's the pastor, you won't believe it. Do you understand? Because very casual. Very casual. And that does not affect the word that they're going to share.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Some of these things, perceptions, is because of the way many of us were brought up and raised in church. There's a perception that going to church has to be formal. You have to be in a three-piece suit, and you have to be a tie and everything.
Dreads, skin tight.
Excuse me. I don't think those are the major issues right now. I'm telling you the truth. And, God is more concerned about lost souls than whether you come in a three-piece suit or not.
And then, all right, so moving on into, culture. And what's your opinion about FOMO? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. I see a lot of middle-aged adults now trying to feel young and trying to relive, the glory days or missed opportunities from their younger life. So what's your opinion about this?
Honestly, what I say to people is that act your age and enjoy yourself. You can chew gum and work at the same time. You can enjoy yourself and serve God at the same time. Now, maybe what you will now qualify is, what do you mean by enjoy yourself? Because the challenge in the church is that Christians, we have come to believe that unless it is boring, we are not Christians. And I don't know who sold us a lie that our parties have to be boring and our gatherings have to be boring, and then you have to be limited to a particular way of discussion and things like that. Look, I remember there was a day, one of my sons, I saw him, with his, hair pierced, and he had earrings. So I said, I just laughed. He said, why am I laughing? I said, you are too old for this, and I said, you should have done this when you were 18 or 19. Do you understand? And he said, but when I was 18 and 19, I was living in your house, and I know you won't like it. Do you understand?
It's a respect thing.
So I said, but now, I live in my own house and And I get it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what I was just saying is that I thought he had passed that stage. Do you understand? I see a lot of adults trying to be kids again. Do you understand? But after a while, people look at you and say, man, I think it's past, that age, that you do some things, So honestly, let's act our ages and let's just enjoy life and serve God at the same time, so that you don't look back and say, oh, I missed out. Honestly, when I look back now, I've not missed out on anything. I enjoyed my youth, even though I was not a Christian. Do you understand? I had fun in the best of whatever you can call fun to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? So by becoming a Christian, the issue of going to club or doing all, they weren't issues to me. Again, because I've had all that. I've seen all that. If I don't go to club again, I tell some of my friends, I say, I'm too tired of drinking. I said, you've been drinking since you were 19. I said, you are now 65 and you're still drinking. I said, I'm too tired of drinking. It's time to stop. Do you understand? Because for everything in life, you must know when to stop some things. Do you understand? If you don't, it might be a slippery slope. Do you understand? And after a while, I said, stop drinking now, not because of anything, but because of your liver. And you don't want to kill yourself. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that I tell people, especially those who are my contemporaries, on how, to live their life.
So then, what advice do you have to give us as young people in terms of fear of missing out? As, Christians developing in the faith, we have our other friends, we want to go out to brunch, we want to go out to the clubs. But, in some ways, these clubs or some activities that we do don't necessarily glorify God. So, but we don't want to miss out on the fun. So it's just like, what advice do you have to give, this young developing Christians on that?
Live as a believer, you don't have to go to the club to enjoy yourself. You can create things around yourselves and have fun and enjoy yourselves. Do you understand? When I first got born again, one of the challenges, I had and some of my friends was that they told us, don't go to the club again on Friday. Don't go to the club on Saturday. So we said, so what do we do? What do we do? So Friday now became so free. So what did we? So we started going to one of our friends' homes and we just buy some food, buy some non-alcoholic wine drinks, and we'll talk and we'll eat and we'll gist and we'll have fun. By 1 a.m., everybody is tired. They understand? And we just sleep. And that's how we got over the issue of going to club. The question you should ask yourself is that, will God's name be glorified in this thing I'm about to do? Even though my friends do it. And don't forget, your friends they might not be believers. Do you understand? So you can't put yourself on the same pedestal with them. You understand? So you ask yourself, will God's name be glorified in this? Am I going to propagate the gospel more by engaging in this? Or rather, and once you are able to cross that line and say to yourself, I don't think God's name will be glorified in this, let me just do this. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
It's been so lovely talking with you, Pastor T. And, I have more questions to ask for you, and I can't wait to ask these questions. And, I know you all out there as well have questions. So don't forget to send your questions to insights with PT at Jesus House Baltimore. And, whenever you're free, I would love to meet up with you later to dive in, dig deep.
No problems, anytime.
All right.